Well, g'day, it's AB. We're going to talk about context, a word you might have been hearing if you're playing with large language models quite a lot. It's context window or context window length, I guess, is even more vital. Essentially, it's how much you can scroll back, which means how much that large language model can actually keep in its short-term memory. And short-term memory is probably the best way to think about it. If these large language models have been trained on the entire internet, that is, they've read everything, that's equivalent to their long-term memory. Things they know, but it's buried deep in their brain. Okay, so the first Prime Minister of Australia, was it Barton or was it Deakin? That's a long-term memory kind of thing. Context window is the ability to actually augment that long-term memory with things in recent history so that the large language model can give more focus to them. Now, typically that's either your chat, text or voice or your images that you've been making, but it can also be new range of things. Reasoning models, thinking models, you can often see them insert their own chain of thought processes, their own words of their own internal monologue. That adds to the context window. You can also add files, documents, pure data, and that can be either rich documents or pure data. You can also go out and do web searches, and web searches might be the thing that will confirm that the first Prime Minister of Australia was in fact Barton. Pub trivia rules here. So context is how much of that is possible. Now in 2024, context windows started to escalate. You would often say, not I'm out of memory, but there wasn't enough to keep the entire context of something you talked about, let's say half hour ago, relevant to now. But in 2025, context windows have escalated. They're now quite huge. Many millions of tokens, more than you need for most cases. Just a heads up though, if you're not playing with the large language models from the major firms, smaller models definitely won't have the same context window and they may forget things that you told them a few minutes or a few screens back. So context is short-term memory, how much you can actually keep in its very recent history, and that is weighted far more heavily and far more relevant for the conversation you're having right then.